Oh, hello, and more hellos. We are back on this Boxing Day. Um, and we're going to tell you a little bit about what we did after we went live yesterday. We went to go see Nosferatu, the movie that came out on Christmas. So I wanted to just do a review because it was quite interesting. And I like to be inspired by the things I see because this is a daydreamer's perspective. And so I wore something dark because it was a very gothic and dark movie. So I'm wearing something dark. I'm wearing newspapers because the newspapers were talking a lot in this movie, and we'll tell you how we get there. We're going to tell you how we get there. I'm going to tell you how that happens. So, um, yeah. So we went to go see. Oh, well, what we're going to do, because I'm not cooking today because we did all day yesterday. What I'm going to do today, and Scott's over there too, is look at what I found. I found this Mr. Rogers neighborhood puzzle at Ollie's for like $3. Like this thing should be like this should be a collector's item, but they don't know. They sleeping on it. They sleeping on it. And look, it has like little cute puzzles. So we're gonna do this one with his little puppet. It's gonna be really cute. So get your arts and crafts, whatever the hell it is. If you ain't got nothing, go outside, get a rock, get some paints, paint a rock, honey. Paint a rock. We're here to do arts and crafts and heal inner children and listen to Nosferatu, my retelling with spoilers, because I'm gonna spoil it with spoilers. So get ready. And of course, I had to do notes because I did notes, but I didn't have to because, honey, this is just a remix, honey. They remixed Bram Stoker's Dracula and just called it Nosferatu. That's all they did. Really, they did. Do you have any words before I start getting into this review, Scott? Do you have any words?
No.
Are you gonna tell them that little tidbit that you told me about?
Oh, like how Nosferatu kind of came to be?
Yeah, the budget, why they had to recycle.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like you're saying, it's basically Bram Stoker's Dracula, and it is. I guess when they made the original Nosferatu movie, the intention was to make a Dracula movie, but they just wanted to beef up Dracula a little more, make him spookier. But turns out they didn't get the rights to Dracula, so they couldn't make a Dracula movie, so they just changed all the characters' names and the setting, and just kept the plot. Changed the end a little bit.
Change the names. They just changed the names to confuse everybody, and that was what they did, in my opinion. And change like a little, like, girl, just a sliver of the plot. Like if this was a college paper, they would get plagiarized. Like they would say plagiarism. That's how little they changed it. Scott, do you think they would get a plagiarism strike?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because this is the same, honey.
But just to see clear though, it's not the original Nosferatu is the ones who actually kind of plagiarized it. They're just kind of remaking
the Nosferatu.
Yeah.
But okay. Then, go ahead.
Then they kind of just took what they did in 1990 whatever and just redid it with Nosferatu.
So if you go back into my video history on YouTube, you'll see that I did Bram Stoker's Dracula because I love that movie from 1992, honey. I love every bit of it, even Keanu Reeves playing Keanu Reeves in it. I love it. So you can go back and look at that, and I promise you're about to hear this, like almost the same thing, or me pointing out the same things, because Matt, I remind you, don't come for that movie. Because it's comfortable. It's comfortable, honey. Don't come for that movie. I love that movie. It's cherished in my heart. Somewhere under these papers. Okay, so let's talk about who's in it. We got Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlok, which is just Count Dracula remixed. We got Nicholas Holt as Thomas Hutter, basically Jonathan Harker. So that would be Keanu Reeves' character. We got Lily Rose Depp, who is Johnny Depp's daughter, and you could tell in their little cheeks, in her cheeks, like something right here looks just like Johnny Depp to me. So anyway, let me stop fanning out because I'm a Johnny Depp fan. As Ellen Hutter, who is Mina Harker in Bram Stoker's Dracula. You have Aaron Taylor, and he's playing John. I'm sorry, my handwriting is really bad. Aaron Taylor Johnson as Friedrich Harding, which is author, which is, I want to say, the Texan who ends up marrying Mina in Bram Stoker's Dracula. So you got Emma Corrin as Anna Harding, who is Lucy. You have William Dafoe, who is Professor Albin von Franz, who is Van Helsing. Then you have Ralph Ineson as Dr. William Stevens, aka John Seward, the doctor in Bram Stoker's Dracula. And then Simon McBurney as Herr Knock, who is Renfield. Okay, so that's the cast we got going on here. Now let's talk about the movie. So in the beginning of the movie, you see Johnny Depp child, Lily Rose, or Ella, aka Mina. Everybody gonna have like 3 names because they play too much. So you see her like she's wishing, she's like, oh my God, I just want somebody to come for me. Then you hear this voice calling and saying, okay, girl, I'm here. And then all of a sudden, oh wait, I'm supposed to be doing this puzzle. Scott, I'm distracted by this puzzle, by this story. Yeah. Anyway, so the voice comes for her, and then my girl started having seizures, honey. It turned into something. Okay, maybe like this is what I'm gonna say. Don't be out there calling rando. Like, look, if you alone, look inside. Go inside. Don't be calling up random because, honey, sometimes you get random results that you ain't looking for, and that's what she got. So then, like, you know, we fast forward some time, and you got girl, let me get with these names. Girl, well, I don't know which names to go with, the original Dracula or this Dracula. Or I'm sorry, Nosferatu. I guess it's appropriate to go Nosferatu. Ellen and Thomas are in bed, or I'm sorry, yeah, and Thomas are in bed, and they're all lovey-dovey, and she's like, you're the light of my life, and I couldn't do this thing called life without you. Like, they all lovey-dovey, and she's like, please don't go to work because they gonna ask you to leave and go out of town, and you got the partnership. I think he was a lawyer. I don't know.
I don't think he was a lawyer. I think they worked for some sort of like accounting firm or something. But I don't know, maybe it was a lawyer.
I couldn't tell what broker, because he ended up going to the count to sell him the property. Maybe he was a realtor. It doesn't really say what his job is. So, you know, so he's like, girl, stop being crazy. You know, you don't know that. How would you know that? And what he doesn't know is, girl, she used to play with the devil, I guess, kind of. So she knows things that maybe you don't think she knows. So he goes and she's like, okay, well, whatever. So he gets the job and he is told by pretty much Herr Knock, who is Renfield, now we got to send you over there to Transylvania or the Carpathian Mountains. And, you know, so you can like sell this old property that the count want to buy. He's eccentric. He's weird. He's different. You're the one. And then once you get back, you get the partnership. And so he's like, okay, cool, gang. That's kind of weird. My wife said something, but whatever, you know, I'm gonna be your partner. So we're doing good. Sorry, we're having a cat fight. They're a little rowdy right now. Maybe Nosferatu is coming. I don't know. So anyway, so So, he goes and you find out that Hair Knock like got this Satanist thing going. Can you say that on YouTube? Can you say Satan? Is that oh Lord Jesus? Got I don't know, Hades. he got some Hades stuff going because he got like he got a pentagram. He got a lot going on, and he laying in the middle of it, rolling around, just doing too much. So, that's what he's doing. And he's like, Master, I'm sending fresh meat to you. The beautiful women is the husband of beautiful women coming. Oh, and by the way, when he sent old boy to go, to the Carpathian Mountains, he made several references to the wife that made me uncomfortable. It looked like it was making, what is his name? Thomas uncomfortable. Like, girl, why are you talking about how beautiful his wife is? Why do you keep mentioning the marriage? Like, why is that like doing too much? So anyway, so he rolling around on the ground, just doing too much. So Thomas has to hurry up, get on a horse, even though that was not in Bram Stoker's Dracula, because they at least sent him in a carriage. But he gets a horse and he's just trolloping. Well, before he does that, he leaves his wife, Ellen, at his friend's house, who are the Hardings. So we got Arthur and Anna Hart, or I'm sorry, Friedrich and Anna Harding. Guess who house she's staying over? And she's still friends with Anna, who is Lucy. And the husband this time doesn't like her, even though Lucy in Bram Stoker's never gets married, but whatever. We're going with Nosferatu. We on some Nosferatu. We on the Nosferatu train. So she's staying there with them while he goes. So he gets on his horse and he gallops on off into the woods, which just seems really dangerous, but clearly they knew what they were doing at this time. This was not my time period. And he's just galloping through the woods. He stops at this gypsy like village. And they're just like over there, like la da dee, la da da, la da dee, la da da. And they're doing gypsy stuff. And then they find out, oh honey, he going over to Count Orlok's place. And they like, oh no, you don't want to do that. Count Orlok, no, honey, he's the most. He's doing the most. Kind of like what Renfield was doing over there, the most. So, they're, trying to warn him, and they're doing weird, but this is where they lost him. I think this might be where they lost them. And what say you, Scott? He wakes up in the middle of the night and they doing weird rituals with naked women. Just FYI, don't take your children because there's nudity. This is like soft core corn with a P in the front. Corn with a P in the front. Softcore. So if you into that kind of stuff and you want to see like light people with no clothing and things of that nature, go on over there, honey. This is your jam. So they rolling through at night. He get up at night and they got a chick with no clothing on a horse just rolling to the graveyard, because that's what we're doing. This is why I'm in dark goth. They roll into the graveyard. She on a horse, and they opening coffins, and they sticking stakes through people who are not in this room anymore. They're not breathing anymore, and they're just sticking stakes through the hearts. And what was his name? Thomas. It's just like, oh my God, that's crazy. What are you people doing? And they try to explain to him like, these the Walking Dead, baby. We don't. We gotta take them out. We gotta take them out. Like, you think they did, but they not. And so he's not getting it. He has not met Count Orlok yet. So he doesn't understand what's going on. So he's like, these people have lost their mind. So this old lady kind of bags him into a corner and she's like, oh my God, sir. Let me get something that looks like a cross. Here, take this cross, honey, because I don't think you understand. Like over there, Count Orlok's people, they not our people. They not like us. They not like us. Meaning they the Walking Dead, baby. They not like us. What say you, Scott? What about the crazy rituals that were going on?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say about them.
What do you have to say about the storyline thus far for Nosferatu?
Yeah, I mean, it was what it was. I mean, it resembled Dracula quite a bit. I don't know. I don't have much to say.
Scott is busy doing his sticker art, so excuse him. Okay. So boom. Thomas said, let me get on my way because y'all people doing too much with the chick with no clothing on at night on a horse, in the graveyard, and you putting, stakes through, people who ain't with us no more. Like, you just doing too much. So he was like, let me get on. Like, thank you for the bed. So long, and thanks for the fish, honey. I got to go. So he jumps back on his horse. But no. He didn't even jump back on his horse. He woke up and nobody was there. I don't even know what that was about. Like, he just woke up and everybody had fled the scene.
Everything was gone. Right?
Yeah, they fled the scene of the crime, honey. So he does not have a horse. They probably used his horse in that little ritual the night before because for some reason he couldn't find his horse either. So he on foot through the woods, just walking around. Now, this is where I had questions, but I didn't ask them because we were in a movie theater and it's just rude to do that. But how do you know which direction you're going? Because during this time frame, we do not have signs or anything. We're just wandering aimlessly. We don't have GPS. We don't have a cell phone. We're just kind of wandering around. And the sun had went down at a point. I don't know how he knew where to go, but he knew where to go to the point where one of Count Orlok's, I guess, stagecoaches came to pick him up. I don't even know how the stagecoach knew where he was, who he was. Like, no one ever explained that. It's just some rando stagecoach just pulling up real quick, and then like it's coming towards you, and then it says skirt to the side for you. Get in here. And off it ushered him to this big, ugly castle. So we get to Count Orlok's house, and I mean, in Bram Stoker's Dracula, at least Dracula tried to give the appearance of being halfway decent. Even though he had hair on his palms, he still acted like he had some civility. This Count was just, honey, he was mean. He was ugly. He had nothing going for him. I see why he had to do what he had to do to get the ladies. He had nothing going for him. He had no winning qualities. He wasn't even nice. He wasn't nice to Thomas. He was just like, eat, drink, give me that paper. Don't be asking me no question. You better call me Lord. Like it was giving abusive. What say you, Scott? I was feeling abused. It was giving Ike Turner.
Yeah, he wasn't a nice guy. I think that was kind of the point when they did Nosferatu. They wanted to make, they wanted to take away like the refinement. They wanted to make Dracula a monster.
Okay, well, they successfully made that happen. Okay, period. Do that. So they were successful there because there was no redeeming qualities there. I see why you gotta wait for lonely, desperate women to call out to you in the middle of the night to get one. Because the other Dracula, yeah, he could even shapeshift and make himself look cute and young. This one gave he gave 0 F's. Honey, he didn't give your F's. He didn't give my F's. He didn't give Scott's F. He gave no F's. None. Okay. About his appearance, about his personality. He invested nothing in any of those departments. So anyway, enough of me dragging him for being who he was. So they were successful in making him a monster. He was not, there was nothing there. So, he's like, eat now, take that knife, put it in the bread, go. Like a TI in basic training. And oopsie daisy, Thomas accidentally cuts himself. And Nosferatu was like, oh girl, do I smell blood? Oh Lord. And so here he goes tearing the man up. Just tearing him up. Well, the next day Thomas wakes up and he got holes in his chest. Then the next day he wakes up and he got more holes in his chest. Now, meanwhile, you got Ellen. She over there just wreaking havoc down to the Hardens' house. Now, Anna Harden, aka Lucy, is pregnant with her third child now, honey. Now, this is the time where she's supposed to be putting her feet up, relaxing, not dealing with too much. But no. We got Ellen over there running ruckshot because she having seizures. She having psychic episodes. She over there she over there looking like the Exorcist, child. She was over there doing some Exorcist stuff. What say you, Scott? When she went up on, when she did the back, honey, that ain't happening. She was on all fours like the Exorcist. I was like, girl.
Contorting in ways that people don't do.
Slob. I was like, ugh. Stressing this poor pregnant woman out, and the husband already didn't like her because he was like, girl, you crazy. I don't know how you found a man, but you found a man and he needs to come back. Come get you. So, nobody's having a good time over there because she keeps predicting that something's coming. He coming for me. He coming. And they like, I hope he do come back and get you. They don't know nothing about Nosferatu and how she promised herself to a weirdo who saw a young girl desperate and out there, and he took advantage of that. And now he's cashing in. So anyway, well, I just gave a spoiler to the spoiler. Period. So anyway, she's wreaking havoc over there and just being a bad house guest. So they call in the doctor. They call in Dr. Dr. William Severs. They call in Dr. William Severs, and he just keep drugging her up. But then at a point, he's like, girl, this is not going to get no better. Something is wrong with this. When she broke out into her exorcist thing, he was like, girl, hold up. I ain't seen this before. Like, this is beyond my scope. Like, this is above me now. Let me go find my old professor and get him involved because he's going to know something. Let's go find Professor Von Franz, who is a recluse in his cabin. And he threatens everybody that comes near him. But once he sees me, he gonna know we cool. Let's go ahead. So Dr. Severs and this is Friedrich go on to get him. Friedrich is at this point is just at the end of his rope. He's like, just get this crazy hysterical woman out of my house. Me and my wife, who I cannot resist, are trying to like be lovey-dovey and had his baby so I can knock her up again. Get this crazy woman out. And the wife is like, no, this is my best friend. No, I love her. Help her. So they run over to go to Professor Von Franz's house. So Professor Von Franz sees him. He invites him. He's like, oh no, honey, yeah, something wrong here. Let me go see her. So he goes and sees her. He's like, yeah, definitely something's wrong with her. She got a lot of blood in her. Nobody did a CT scan. Nobody like took her blood. Nobody did nothing. He just looked at her and said, girl, you just full of blood, child. Just full of it. Just pumping through. Did he not say that, Scott?
said it.
I was like, I don't know how they know that.
He knew.
Okay, well, I'm not a doctor, so what would I know? And I wasn't there. So, meanwhile, Nosferatu had signed whatever little papers he need, and he on his way. He like, girl, let me get on this boat. Let me bring all these rats with me. Let me get every rat that's in my little dusty castle, and let me put them on a boat with me, and let me give every person on this boat the plague, bubonic. By the way, like, honey, I am bringing just straight chaos with me. I have no cut cards here. Not like the other Dracula. Now that there's the difference. The other Dracula was just drinking blood. This Dracula is drinking blood and giving plague. He don't care, honey. He don't care. Okay. So he on his way. Old girl still having her little dizzy demon spells, and she's like, "Oh my God, he's on his way. He's coming." Meanwhile, also Hair Knock is like, "Oh my God, he coming. I'm a fan. 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 He coming. I'm a fanboy. I got a bromance, a real bromance with him." So he's coming, and everybody knows except for the Hardin family. So eventually the boat comes in some kind of way. Well, wait. Sorry. Thomas escapes. He narrowly escapes. Dracula sent some wolves after him, but he woke up in the nick of time from getting his blood drank. And he like climbs out, he falls out the window, he's in a river, and there's this nun. She's like, I don't know what she's doing by the river, but she was by the river, thank God, because she found him. And a bunch of nuns carry him to where they are, sacred ground. So he's telling the nuns when he wake up, he like, girl, I was over there at Count Warlock's castle, and it was crazy, it was wild, it was like a Diddy party, it was crazy. It was like a Diddy party. It was crazy. Anything was going on there. So he's like, oh my God. So the girl was like, or the nun was like, look, you ain't even got to worry about that. This is sacred soil, The count can't come here, but you need to heal up. And he's like, no. Because the count was sniffing the locket that my wife gave me. He after my wife, honey. He after my wife. I gotta go protect my wife from this weirdo. So, honey, I don't know where he found this horse, but he should have found that horse before he went to Count Orlok's house. He found the horse and off he go, even though he could barely stand up. So he on his way. Nosferatu's on his way, and it's a race to get Ellen, who is literally having multiple psychotic breakdowns all through this film. Multiple. The chick got spit falling all out her mouth. It looks a mess, honey. It looks a mess. What say you, Scott?
It was a mess. It wasn't looking good.
It's not hot. Ellen, it was not hot, honey. So Thomas gets there to his wife, and she's like, oh my God, she sees him. She's happy that he's alive. Well, wait. Well, yeah, she's happy he's alive, whatever. Meanwhile, Friedrich is getting all this bad news. Clearly, he had a high job, like clearly, because they was telling him a boat crash in his plague boat. And, rats were like spilling all over the place. Like at any time, anybody could have got a cat, but I guess nobody wanted to get no cats involved. So anyway, plague boat rolls up, and the rats are all over the place. People are dying all over, or people are unalived all over the place. It's a mess. And what is Ellen and Thomas busy doing? Having nuptials. She over there slobbing and going crazy. Or wait, is that the right part? It doesn't even matter, honey. She over there slobbing and going crazy. And they over there doing it, talking about let's let him see our love, because she finally did told Thomas that the reason why Nosferatu was coming for her is because she called for him when she was like 12, because she was lonely, because her mom had passed away and her dad, wasn't giving her no attention because he felt like she was weird because she was always in a forest. None of this makes any sense. So anyway, she's like, well, let's do it so he can see us doing it and see our love, because you're the reason why I stopped wanting him. You the reason why my seizures went away. None of it makes any sense, but we gonna carry on. So the homie gets there, and by the homie I mean Nosferatu. He finally makes. Well, he didn't got there because we know all the rats then ran all over the place, and they're bringing plague all over the place. And so he gets to Ellen, and he's like, "Hey, girl, so you get this creepy hand, the Nosferatu hand. It's not that scary, but it's just reaching all over the place." And he gets to Ellen, and he's like, "Hey, girl, you gonna come with me or not?" The way he looked, he might as well just said that. You coming with me or not? And she's like, "No, I got a man now. So I like what I did at 12, sir, is not what I'm doing in my 20s. So, no, the answer is no." And he was like, "Well, you got free will. So either you come with me because you got free will of your own free will, or else I'm taking out everybody around here." And I was like, Scott, can you tell me something? Help me understand. And you guys out there too, put it in the comment section. Can you truly have free will if someone's threatening to end everybody around you, to like take them out, to send them to Dante's Inferno or Paradiso or whatever? Is it truly free will still? No. Scott, do you think that's free will? If I'm like, "Oh, you got free will, you could choose this, or I'm gonna blow everything up." Like, what is that really free will though?
No, it's more manipulation, I would say.
Okay, Nosferatu. Okay, honey, you giving the girls free will. So I love it. I love what do I say, Scott? What did you tell me to say? I love that for you. I love the free will that you're giving. I love that for you. So anyway, so he's like, "Girl, you got 3 days." Now I'm going to say this. He is a bad man. Because even the girl from The Ring gave you 7 days. This man just a mess. And to prove that he was serious, he went in there and he had her friend, I got to look over here, Anna. He had one of them nasty, nasty mice bite her friend Anna and gave her the plague. This is why we can't rise as a people. Period. Because of the way this man trying to get free will. So anyway, so now Anna got to figure out what she's going to do, if she's going to give in to Nosferatu. Meanwhile, Herr Knock, I forget what happened to him. It doesn't really even matter. I think he ends up unaliving. And this is where Professor Von Franz gets that book, baby. He gets that book, not the Mr. Rogers book, but pretend like this is like the Nosferatu book. He get that puzzle pieces falling out. Child, this is a mess. He get that Nosferatu book and he finds out, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. The only way to defeat Nosferatu makes absolutely no sense, but we gonna wedge it in there to the place of making sense. And the only way he can end is by getting with Anna and the sun coming up, period. Scott, did that make sense to you?
No, not really.
Viewers, did that make sense to you? Because it didn't make sense to me, but hey, this is the way the movie's going. And I was there as a observer, not as a writer. So let's keep going here. So, Everybody's in a stagecoach trying to figure out what are we going to do? How are we going to get rid of Nosferatu? Even though we know Professor Van Franz got the book and he know what time it is. And old girl is over there having, honey, just doing the most. Anna, I mean, having seizures and doing whatever she's doing. But she is psychic, so she knows what she has to do. But the only person who's sitting up here tripping is Thomas. Because the Hardens just basically put them out. What is his name? Friedrich basically said, y'all gotta go. We're tired of you disrupting my family life. My wife then got bit by a rodent, not because of you, but just because I'm tired. I need y'all to go somewhere. So he didn't put them out. So they all sitting in the stagecoach trying to figure out what to do. And they figure out, okay, we're going to go down to where his soil is because he can not survive without his soil. And we're going to torch it and take him out. Oh, this is where Harnock passes away. So they go to the coffin, they push away the lid, they hammer down, they said, sorry, it's water. And it's not even Nosferatu, baby. It's Harnock. Wait, okay. I forgot. I go out of sequence. Rewind about 10 minutes before that. Just to really solidify his threat. Nosferatu is just not a good person. He's not in a good place. He needs a lot of therapy. He needs a lot of showers. Excuse my cat in the background. That's Umi. He just needs a lot of work. Maybe he should go, honey, he looked like botch tapping. It's a mess going on over there. So he is a bitter, broken person. So what does he do to really push his point and agenda to Anna? He ends her friend and ends the two children. Child, Anna was pregnant and the little girls got it too. Poor little Friedrich just lost it and ended himself in the sarcophagus with Anna because he couldn't take it. His heart couldn't take it. His heart didn't stand a chance, y'all. So, they go see that. They like, we got to go get Dracula. So Nosferatu, because this is not Dracula. So they run on scurry off and they like, okay, let's get to his sarcophagus. We gonna like burn it up, put a stake through him. Boom, it's over. Then Thomas over there like, and then he can't get my wife. And Professor Von Franz is like, okay, yeah. Let's go. So they get there. They end up putting a stake through Harnock. This is where Thomas realized, oh snap, this man ain't here. He going after my wife. And Professor Von Franz like, baby, your wife is as good as gone, honey. Let her go. Let her go. Let her go. Honey, let her go, honey. She is the remedy to Nosferatu's dustiness. She's the remedy. She's the pledge. So this is where it gets really weird and just here we go. And Scott, help me out here. Okay. So basically Nosferatu goes on over there to Anna's house where she is. She's all dressed up like here comes the bride. And I mean, she looked good. She looked good. She looked like a snack. So, she's sitting there like here comes the bride. He goes in there and she's like, come to me. She's giving Marilyn, come to me. So he goes to her. And honey, I guess what Professor Von Franz said was correct. She was full of blood. So he was drinking all night long, honey. He was drinking. What say you, Scott? He was just sipping and a sipping and a sipping.
Yeah, going to town.
He was going to town, honey. And every time he tried to come up, she put him right on down. She said, yeah, you like you like that? So eventually, girl, all of a sudden, he sipped so long, it's like being in a club. You know how sometimes you party so long, you done messed up and curfew is over. The time that you said you was going to leave because you got to go to work the next day is beyond. It's beyond because you partying so hard. Well, so was Nosferatu on that girl and all that blood, child. So all of a sudden, here it comes. The sun came up. And what happens? He busts into flames. And what happens? She just holds on to him. And I mean, ugh. It was not what we saw on the back of him was just not good. But she did her due diligence. So all the guys rush in. That's Professor Von Franz, that's Dr. Sievers, that's Thomas, and they discover, girl, she gone, he gone. The plague is gone. The day has been saved. Nosferatu over. Would I go see that movie? No. I would rather go see Bram Stoker's Dracula with Francis Coppola, because the design, I mean, not that this was bad, but that one is just better, and the storyline is just cleaner. The acting is really good. Not that the acting in this was bad, but if I had to choose between the two, I'm going to say Bram Stoker. But please go see it. Write what you think in the comments, absolutely, because, you know, everybody's perspective, everyone's taste in film is different. And I think I'm a diehard fan for the other one. What say you, Scott?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't particularly enjoy this movie. I was waiting for it to be over. I do think the effects were good. The monster was good. I always like a good monster in a horror movie, so they did good making him even with the mustache.
That mustache was busty.
I mean, one thing that really bothered me was like his voice. Like, I just thought it was kind of cheesy. I thought like it was like just like me or you, just like, oh, imitate a creepy voice. It was just like I don't know, it didn't ring on me. It just sounded like fake. Like, I don't know. It didn't work for me. Maybe it did for other people, but not for me.
Okay, well, y'all look at the reviews. Go look at some other YouTubers and see what they say. Look at some reviews, because it wasn't my favorite thing. It was not my favorite thing. Yeah, it was good to get out for Christmas, so I would do it again on Christmas, but not any other day. I think there are better movies out right now than that. But again, it was good to see Johnny Depp's daughter. If they wanted to make Nosferatu evil, they definitely got that through. He definitely was just, and when I say dusty, I mean literal dust was just swirling around him. It was all in his mustache. It was everywhere. It was a mess. It was a mess. It was like, sir, the shower isn't even that's not gonna be enough. It's not gonna be enough. This is decades of dirt. So yeah. So they definitely made him look way worse than Bram Stoker. So yeah. So consider going and seeing it. Hopefully you got a little escape from your day, from whatever was ailing you. Hopefully you got some arts and crafts in, unlike me. And you know what? If anybody is near, go check out Ollie's. They sometimes have like some crazy weird stuff that you would never think to get, like a Mr. Rogers puzzle book. So hopefully you got some arts and crafts in. Hopefully you got a little escape from the day. Hopefully this helped you make a decision on whether to go see Nosferatu or not. And yeah, you guys enjoy the rest of your